witchlings and princelings, and welcome to your weekly coven summoning. My name is Ulsa.
And my name is Stacy.
And we're
Caffeine and Conjuring, a fantasy bookish podcast where we will discuss some of our favorite fantasy reads.
Hey everybody, it's Ilsa from the future, and I just need to pop in before we get into the episode. There may be a little bit of sound mishap in this episode. I got some new equipment on my end, and it was not set up properly. So my sound is basically awful, and I give you my sincerest apologies. But next week, everything should be back to normal, and hope you still enjoy the episode anyways. And now we'll get back to our regular scheduled episode. If you've been keeping up with our episodes, we're currently reading Sarah J. Maas's Throne of Glass in the publication order. We're currently discussing Book 2, which is Crown of Midnight. So please read up to and including Chapter 49 before listening to the episode if you don't want any spoilers. And speaking of spoilers, we try and keep our social medias as spoiler-free as possible, so please keep that in mind if you're interacting in our comment sections. What a journey it's been.
Yeah. Where did we end off?
We ended off last episode with Selena returning to Elena's tomb and struggling to understand the new riddle, and she ultimately decides to find someone who knows magic to help her solve it, which leads us into Chapter 40.
We're gonna go see old Yellowlegs, I assume.
Oh, yes. So, the carnival hired for Prince Holland is preparing to leave when Selena comes looking for Baba Yellowlegs. She finds the witch at her wagon, and she offers her 3 gold coins to talk with her and ask her a few questions. They barter a little, and Baba adds that she won't reveal Dorian's secrets in one of the offerings. And immediately, Selena's like, this bitch is gonna tell Dorian's secrets? Like, are you for real? So, Selena offers 6 gold pieces for answers to her questions and the promise that Selena won't say anything to the castle guards about Baba selling the prince's secrets. Baba accepts, and they enter her wagon.
This part messed me up.
It's like this old crone in this crusty old carriage, and like the whole visual, like the iron teeth, the yellow legs. The interior of the wagon is gloomy and littered with junk, and it looks a little more extensive than the exterior. And then they walk through a basically forest of mirrors until they reach a fireplace. So Selena's starting to get a little nervous because she knows what the witches are capable of. Selena hands Baba the riddle, and Baba tells her it's about locations of 3 word keys. The word keys open the word gate, which allows beings to move from one world to another. Ha ha ha!
Here we go. We're getting some answers.
She explains that the Valg, demons from another planet, took 3 pieces of the word gate and made the keys, allowing them to open the gate at will and use its power for evil. Maeve, the Fae Queen, or a Fae Queen, found the keys but couldn't put them back into the gate. So she sent them to Brannon to hide in Aurelia, preventing anyone from using that power again. So Selena realizes that Nehemia was searching for the word keys, and she suspects the king is too. And then Baba confirms that the king already has at least one of the word keys. Dun dun dun! Just what that old bastard needs. So Baba, who has been shuffling around the mirrors as she spoke, suddenly stops, and Selena draws her daggers. Baba accuses Selena of wanting to kill her, and Selena will do anything to protect Dorian's secrets. She weaves through the mirrors, which distorts sight and sound, and she sees the witch. She throws a dagger, but only hits a mirror, shattering. Selena's not fast enough to dodge Baba's heavy chain as she whips it across Selena's head.
Oh, she caught.
She got good.
I liked how Selena was trying to be a little sneaky with Baba Yellowlegs. Like, she was like, I just want to see if you know what it is. You know, like, she's like, I know the answer, but I'll toss in another gold if you can tell me what it is. Like, she's seen right through Selena.
Oh, yeah.
But then, yeah, that brings us to chapter 41, and it switches to like Kale and Dorian. They're watching the workers dismantle the carnival from the balcony, and they're discussing Selena. Kale is like asking Dorian about her because he's still so worried, and you know. So Dorian says she's coping, and Kale suggests Dorian help her escape her contract with the king. And Dorian is just like, you got to be careful. You got to keep an eye on where your loyalties lie. Meanwhile, Selena is now, she's lies chained to the floor in Baba Yellowleg's wagon. Her head is throbbing. She's lost all of her weapons. And when the witch approaches, Selena headbutts her. She grabs a grimy axe and smashes the wagon's mirrors. Baba manages to trip Selena and they grapple on the floor, but Selena swings the axe, knocking Baba back. The witch charges again, but Selena decapitates her in a spray of blue blood as she throws Baba's body into the wagon's fire. This was pretty
gory.
Yeah. Yeah, like she didn't hold back, I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like where is it? Hold on a second now. Yes, like it says, there was a smile on Baba Yellowleg's decapitated head as it thudded to a stop.
I was a little disappointed. I figured the witch would have more in her than being able to be taken out that easy. Like, yes, Selena is a great assassin, but she's a witch. She's an iron-toothed witch. We don't know really anything about them yet, but I feel like that fight should have been more.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of left me feeling like, is more going to happen? Like, is this the end of Baba Yellowlegs? Yeah, so I wonder how that's going to play out now. Because, you know.
Yeah. And chapter 42, this whole conversation's hilarious, but he does warn her that Baba Yellowlegs' clan will come asking questions about her disappearance. So it's not over with those witches yet. There's gonna be more.
Shit.
And I love, she comes into the tomb and Mort greets her by just calling her Witch Slayer.
One more on the long list of names for Selena.
So Selena takes the stairs to her room, but halfway up, she changes her mind and returns to the tomb to get Damaris. Damaris?
Oh.
Damaris. Desperate to reconcile, Kale goes looking for Selena. She's not in her room, but when he's there, he notices a book on her desk covered in strange markings. What could those be? He pulls a piece of paper out of a stack of books, and it's Selena's will, written 2 days before Nehemia's death, and she has left everything she owns to Kale.
Oh,
my heart.
Yeah.
Selena, startling him with her sudden appearance, tells him it's too much trouble for her to change it. She stares at him briefly before telling him to get out. He leaves, but stops in the hallway closet, unable to stop his sobs.
So I think in this chapter, or maybe it's not this chapter, there was a chapter where it mentions that he hasn't cried.
Yeah, that was this chapter.
That was this chapter? But I thought that he did after, like when he brought Selena down to the dungeons and when he was out, like on the step.
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
I think he was close to it, but never actually cried.
Yeah. After Kale leaves, Selena finds herself drawn to the gaming room. She's standing over the piano and she's sort of thinking about how the world just keeps spinning despite Nehemia's death. The memory of Nehemia's brutal murder and their last bitter words are still haunting her. And we've mentioned that before, that like she's going to be thinking on that for a long time. Yeah, so an hour later, Selena is standing on the second staircase at the end of the Forgotten Hall. And she's using a spell book that she found earlier, and she begins to cast a spell, drawing word marks on the door in chalk and whispering the spell. Door swings open, and she steps through, Damaris in hand. She descends down the staircase and she finds herself in like a dungeon-like hall. And there's 99 iron doors. Another door stands at the far end, which she also unlocks. She continues through 6 more doors, each leading to a passage with a small set of stairs and fewer doors. Passages, except for the first, veer sharply to the right, creating a downward spiral. Selena passes through the 6th passage and something like tells her just run. Like her inner is just saying run. She's ignoring it, and she opens the 7th door and she enters a ruined hallway with only 3 doors. One cell door has been smashed from the inside, but all that remains are bones, chains, and deep gouges on the walls. She moves to the 8th passage and finds an open door leading to a steep, spiraling staircase. Climbing the stairs, she enters a chamber with a high ceiling, and she notices that the rings worn by the king, Parrington, and Roland are made of the same material as the obsidian walls. A loud boom shakes the room, and Selena realizes that she's in the castle clock tower, the same place where she defeated Cain in the prior book, Throne of Glass. This is really interesting because this is the same clock tower that Elena had warned her to stay away from. So, yeah. This was a, like, confusing chapter. Just with all of the, like where she was going and all the doors, and I was just like, she'll end up somewhere. But yeah, so what's this all about?
So, chapter 44, Dorian sees Selena enter the library, so he follows her and he finds the hidden staircase. He waits 5 minutes, then 10 minutes, and then he heads into the catacombs. His magic urges him to run for help, but he moves forward, knowing he has to get Selena out. Selena runs down the tower stairs, remembering Elena's words in Throne of Glass to stay away from this place. So nothing good is going to come of this. At the bottom, she sees all the torches she lit her out, and she knows she's not alone. The passageway is entirely dark except for the glow of the eye of Elena. She hears breathing and then a hiss in her ear, so she turns, striking out the Maris. As she hits a creature across the chest, it slams and falls into the floor, hitting Selena in the face as it does. Selena recognizes the creature as the same cloaked figure that she's seen before. She sprints towards the library, her amulet lighting the way. The creature catches up and grabs her, but she manages to hit it with Damaris again. It looks at her with pure hatred, and she sees that it has human characteristics. She asks what it is, but it claws itself and tears at its hair. Selena realizes that it must know word marks and that no mortal barrier can contain it. Dorian hears an inhuman scream and runs while calling for Selena. She tells him to run as she races towards him. She slams one of the iron doors shut, but as she continues running towards Dorian, the creature bursts through it. When Dorian and Selena reach the final iron door that separates the catacombs from the library, they hold it shut as the creature tries to break through. Selena knows she has to seal the door. She sees the edge of the door begin to grow red hot, and when she looks at Dorian, she realizes he has magic. He is growing weak and pale under the strain, still unable to control his power. The creature gains a grip on the door, so Dorian grabs Damaris and hits the creature on the wrist. The door slams shut, and Selena says they need a way to seal the door that the creature can't undo. She sends him up to the library to find the Walking Dead, and after he brings it, Selena finds a spell and makes the word marks on the door with her blood. They let go of the door, and the creature forces it open. As it tries to pass through the threshold, it freezes. Selena decapitates it, and then she releases the spell, causing the body to fall. She hacks at it with the Maris before kicking it inside the door and closing it. Dorian, being the gentleman that he is, takes Selena to his room, where she recounts what happened beneath the library. She doesn't tell him that she believes the king made the creature because it had a human heart. She also privately thinks the king made the clock tower and the black rings using the word key. Selena asks Dorian about his magic, and he explains that it began a few weeks ago and has grown stronger. He needs to find a way to learn to control it and has yet to find a reason why he has it. He shows her one of his family genealogy books, and she notices another clue about the king's plans, but says nothing.
Ooh, there was a lot in this chapter.
I was writing up notes, and I'm just like, I gotta end up writing the whole damn chapter.
Yeah. There was a lot to take away. I like how in this chapter we got a bit of perspective from the creature as well. Like she wrote it from its perspective. And I thought that was so interesting because it took me a minute. I had to go back and reread it a couple times to try and gather whose perspective this was.
Yeah.
But yeah, wow.
A lot of weird things happening in the castle.
Yeah. I'm curious, like why is Dorian just now getting magic, like having access to magic? And why did this creature, how was this creature made? Where did it come from?
Whose heart does it have?
Yeah, like I think she says at some point, like, who was it? Like, who was it before?
Yeah. Well, I know the answer to that question.
I don't. Ugh, crazy. And then chapter 45, Selena has left Dorian's tower and she heads to the castle dungeon to speak with Kaltain. She recalls that Kaltain's claims about the king tricking and using her, and a thought strikes Selena. When Dorian showed her the genealogy book, she noticed that the Rompier family line possessed significant magic, which is obviously why the king has plans for Kaltain. But the book indicates that the line ended 2 generations ago, but obviously not. Kaltain's existence proves that it didn't end.
Yeah.
When she reaches Kaltain's cell, it's empty. The guard informs her that Parrington has already taken Kaltain along with Roland to Morath to get married. So Selena is like, she's really thinking about all this and she's trying to piece it all together because both Kaltain and Roland have been suffering from headaches. And the creature's eyes seemed relieved when she killed it. So, like, she's trying to piece it all together. She's like, who was the creature? What had the king done to it? And then the following night, Selena checks the library door and finds it still sealed. She knows she has to solve the riddle and find the word keys, but the pieces of the puzzle just aren't fitting together.
Yeah, talk about the most fucked up puzzle you ever tried to put together.
Yeah. She's
basically doing a 1,000-piece black puzzle where every piece is the same.
Yeah. Hold on. Because there was... Yeah, she's really trying to figure out, like, everything in the tomb at the end of this chapter. Because she's trying to, like, think of why everything in this tomb is backwards. Like, it seems... Because, like, everything's rearranged. This, you know, the tree on the ceiling, the sky or the stars on the floor. And she's trying to figure out, like, would Brandon have been so foolish to put all the answers in one place? And she's really looking at the inscription, times rift. And then she ends the chapter by saying there's only one person, one being who could possibly tell her whether she was right. And that's how the chapter ends.
Ugh.
Give us the answers.
So, chapter 46, we do get some answers.
Mm-hmm.
Some.
Some.
So Selena returns to Elena's tomb, and she's looking at the queen's sarcophagus. She moves the blue gem on the queen's crown and reveals a small compartment. It's empty. Selena knows the king has the word key that was hidden there, and Mort confirms it, saying that the king was 20 when he took it, and makes a little snip saying, and he found it much faster than you when you figured it out.
Come on, Mort.
Selena realizes the king used the word key to suppress all other magic but his own, which also meant that he likely had 2 word keys, not 1. She decides that she must talk to Nehemia to see what her plan had been before she died, and to say goodbye.
Yeah.
Selena leaves the tomb and goes down a different passageway with a door she never opened, hoping to open a portal to the other world. We switch to Dorian, and he knows he's dreaming, and he dreams of King Gavin. He stands with Gavin in a stone chamber with glowing green word marks on the walls. Gavin tells Dorian to wake up and stop Selena, telling the prince where to find the secret door in her bedroom and to take the 3rd passage on the right. If Dorian doesn't go now, he will lose Selena forever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when Dorian asks why, he's like, because a line that should never be crossed is about to be breached. Oh, shit. What is she up to?
You don't fuck with the dead.
Nope. And chapter 47, we jump right into it. Selena makes a small cut on her arm as she uses her blood to draw the word marks on the wall. She forms an arch. As she's reciting the spell, the stones within the arch vanish, and it reveals like a shimmering portal. Whispers Nehemia's name, but there's no answer. Fleetfoot enters the room and sits expectantly before the portal. Suddenly, Nehemia appears. But she warns Selena never to open this portal again, explaining that she knew her fate and accepted it as a necessary sacrifice for the greater good. She tells Selena that she was a beacon of light in the darkness and begs her not to let that light fade. And with that, Nehemia vanishes and Archer walks into the chamber.
Ooh.
This chapter, like, Selena got like a little bit of closure, I think, with that. With Nehemia telling her that like she knew what was happening to her. She knew that this was where her story ended.
Yeah.
But it was necessary.
And then fucking Archer.
Fuckface. Oh, yeah, he just stood there gaping. I don't believe it, he whispered.
So that brings us right into 48, and Selena's drawing Damaris and asks Archer what the fuck he's doing here. He says Nehemia showed him the tunnels, and he's been here almost every night since her death. Selena wipes away the word marks, but they don't fade. Archer grabs her wrist, and she sees a tattoo Nehemia drew with the warning not to trust someone. Again, fucking Archer.
Yeah.
Selena realizes Nehemia was warning her about Archer. Archer asks Selena if she used a word key to open the portal, and Selena asks, how do you know about them? He says he planted the riddle in Davis's office for her, and Nehemia came to Rifthold to see if the king had any word keys. Archer says they can use them to overthrow the king. And Selena, she's like, absolutely not. If all the word keys are found, they should be destroyed. No one should ever use them. However, to kind of fuck with Archer a little bit and to make him lower his guard and reveal information, she pretends to begin to agree with him. Archer wants to punish the king for what he's done and says Nehemia left the rebel movement a week before she died. Selena continues to express sympathy, so he admits to hiring Grave, posing as Minister Mos. Oh, this fucking guy, man. Archer also kidnapped Kale to get Selena out of the way and took an arrow for her so that she would trust him. He knows who Selena really is and insists they would make a great team. As he steps towards her, Selena stabs Archer in the shoulder with her dagger. She puts her hand on the word marks to steady herself, reopening the portal. Selena hears a growl and sees a tail, and a wiry creature steps through the portal. Now we flash to Kale. He can't sleep. He's still thinking about Selena's will and what it means to him. He hears rushing footsteps in the hall and gets out of bed. He opens the door as Dorian begins knocking. And Dorian says Selena's in trouble, we have to go. So he dresses, and they walk quickly to Selena's room, trying not to draw attention to themselves. They break through her bedroom door and hear a scream. They race down the stairs, they see a blue flash and hear a roar. When they enter the chamber, they see the rocky, misty other world, and Archer cowering by a wall. Selena is unconscious on the floor, and Fleetfoot is growling at the creature to keep it away from Selena, and Kale launches himself at the monster.
All action.
This book gives Kale some well-needed bonus points in my book. For not only that, but something in the next chapter as well. But he swooned.
Yep. Yep. I also like how when Dorian runs to Kale's room, he didn't even have to say anything at first because so he lowered the blade the second he beheld Dorian's face. Kale believed in trusting his instinct. He didn't think humans had survived for so long without developing some ability to tell when things were wrong. It wasn't magic, it was just a gut feeling. And it was Kale's instinct that told him who this was about before Dorian even opened his mouth. Where was all Kale asked. Yeah. And Dorian was like, her bedroom. He's like, tell me everything. And he's like, I don't know. I think she's in trouble. So it was just he right away knew that there was something up. And he was just like, where do I go? Yeah. Let's go. Chapter 49, the last chapter of this episode.
And what a wild chapter to end on. This has worked out so well for chapter endings for the episodes. Yes. They've been so perfect. Rebecca Yarros couldn't do it better.
Yeah, exactly. Oh. Okay, our final chapter starts. Selena's vision clears after the creature slams her head against the wall. She sees Kale dodging its attacks, and Dorian is using his magic to send it flying. Realizing that they need to close the portal, Selena yells at Archer for the spell book, but he's gone. He flees. He takes the book with him. And so without the book, they're trapped. Dorian and Selena race out of the chamber to find another way to shut down the portal, leaving Kale alone with the monster. Switches to Kale's point of view, and he knows... he knows that he's no match for the creature, but is relieved his friends escaped. He glances at Fleetfoot, who's whimpering in the corner with an injured leg. And then the creature follows his gaze and snatches the dog. And drags
bastard.
Yes, Fleetfoot through the portal. And Kale, no hesitation. He was just all action. He jumped in after them. Be still, my heart.
Nothing tops that. Kill whatever people you want. Leave the fucking dog alone.
I know. The last part of that section, Selena's scream was still echoing through the passageway as Kale leapt off the stairs and hurtled through the misty portal after Fleetfoot. He knows how important Fleetfoot is to Selena. So when she sees them disappear into the portal, knowing she can't leave them behind, she knocks Dorian's head into the wall, leaps through the portal herself. She finds Kale unarmed and Fleetfoot cornered by the creature, and she just has this surge of power. And I feel like I should read this to give it the most effect. Okay.
Yes.
The moment she burst through the portal, something changed. It was like a fog vanished from her face, her features sharpening, her steps becoming longer and more graceful, and then her ears. Her ears shifted into delicate points. The creature, sensing it was about to lose its prey, made a final lunge for Kale. It was blasted away by a wall of blue flame. The fire vanished to reveal the creature slamming into the ground, flipping again and again. It was on its feet before it finished rolling, whirling towards Selena in the same move. She was between them now. Sword raised, she roared, revealing elongated canines, and the sound was unlike anything he'd ever heard. There was nothing human in it, because she wasn't human, Kale realized, gaping up at her from where he still crouched over Fleetfoot. No, she wasn't human at all. Selena was Fae. That is where the chapter ends, and my mind, like, I just messaged you, and I was just like, what? Holy shit. I mean, we know that there's so much more to Selena.
Absolutely. But, like,
everything
finally getting
was
some
leading up.
answers, and the fact that she's Fae.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. So obviously, like, even thinking back to when she was running back to the castle when she clued in that Nehemia was in danger. When Kale is talking to Dorian a bit, and, like, he's like, it was unhuman. Like, she was just so fast. Like, there was...
Yeah.
So I think there's been so many signs pointing towards her, like, obviously being more than a human. Yeah. More than just an assassin. So, yeah, like you said, it's just so good to get that confirmation now that this is what she is. She's Fae.
Oh, is she ever?
And I mean...
Is she
that
ever?
description is so badass.
Oh, I can't wait till next week's episode.
I know. And next week is going to be a little bit shorter because there's not 9 chapters.
No,
we're only going to be
but it's going to pack a punch.
Chapters 50 to 56?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
If you've already read it, if you know what's happening next time. And for anyone who hasn't read it, oh God, prepare yourself.
Yeah. There is no better feeling in the world than when you clue into what happens in that very final chapter.
And
like that
your
was
face was so good that whole time.
Thanks.
So, anyone who listened before, we did the recording. We have her reaction to the very last couple chapters. We read it a little early. It's fine. We're not spoiling anything this episode. But...
how could we stop reading after literally the last line of chapter 49, Selena was Fae?
Right?
Like, yeah, right. Am I going to stop reading? No.
And I'm so glad we recorded it because the whole thing is priceless.
When are we going to post it? Are we going to post it, like, on our TikTok?
I'm going to post it along with the upload of the video. I thought the episodes normally post at about 7:30 in the morning. I'll probably post it, like, lunchtime that day.
Yeah. So you'll have something to look forward to.
The gaslighting is real.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I can ever believe you when you say that your face, like, don't have subtitles or your face has subtitles. How you give everything away with your face. Because no, that was, like, perfect. You had me convinced that my theory was bonkers.
Oh, I can't wait for you to watch it because after you believed me of thinking your theory was bonkers, you see my face when I'm looking out the window in the car and I am holding myself from busting out laughing so hard. I showed RJ the video and he was dying at me because I was holding it in so fucking hard. You could see the pain on my face.
I guess it's a good thing that I was driving.
Yeah. So
I wasn't, like, able... Yeah. Oh my God.
Like, to stay silent, to not give anything away. I'm like, girl, what the fuck are you talking about?
But for the record, can we just... I was right.
You
I guessed
were.
it. For, like, literally, it was within the chapter, but still.
I think it was the chapter before, because when I was going back through the
Was it?
videos, each chapter was a different video just for my own sanity for editing. And it was the video before where you asked me the question and I gaslit you no. So you didn't know before the
Perfect.
final chapter.
That's the main thing. I needed some bragging rights. Yeah, I cannot wait until the next episode to talk about those final chapters because there's a lot. Oh, there's so much. And then, wow, then we're going to be done book 2.
And then we go into a little bit of a prequel into Assassin's Blade.
Yeah.
Get all the heartbreak.
Oh, God. I don't know if my heart can handle it. Like, even knowing what comes in Assassin's Blade, I still think it's going to hit hard.
I don't think I've ever cried so much reading a book. Okay, maybe Exodus, but we're not counting that for this. But next to Exodus, Empire of Storms and Kingdom of Ash had parts where I sobbed like a baby. Like, full-on ugly cry.
So how are we supposed to do a podcast episode about this without dying?
We're just gonna die, and it's fine.
Okay. We're just gonna be a sobby, gross mess.
Yeah.
Trying to talk about these books. Okay, that's great.
Oh.
I gotta say, it does take quite a bit, though, to make me, like, full-on cry. So we'll see.
Oh. If you don't cry, there's officially something wrong with you.
Bad time to drink coffee. I think we all already know that there is something already wrong, but oh, God.
Oh.
Is there anything else that you want to talk about these last chapters?
I don't think so. I had to look to make sure which scene was what for the 2 books. I was pretty sure I was right, but yeah, Kingdom of Ash, you have to cry for Kingdom of Ash. Like, there's no way you're not going to.
Oh my God. I'm so afraid.
I mean, I cry for everything. I cried reading that fucking romance yesterday.
Oh. I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you cry for that, you're definitely gonna cry in Kingdom of Ash.
Okay, alright.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that gutted me.
No, yeah. And it was just, like, completely out of left field. Like...
It was.
We were both...
Yeah.
On our road trip yesterday, we were listening to Abby Jimenez's first book, Friend Zoned, and we never got to the heartbreaking part until after we got home. But yeah. I was just like, what? I'm just sitting on the couch bawling my eyes out, and I'm just like, what's wrong? Like, the book we were listening to today, and he's like, didn't you say it was, like, a funny, like, romantic comedy? I'm like, it was until it wasn't.
What happened? Oh my God, yeah. I was in making book sleeves when I got to, like, that part of, because I was listening to the audio. I was finishing the audiobook, and holy shit, I had to stop what I was doing. Like, I couldn't see. I was like, this is brutal. Yeah. Like, this was such a fun, like, rom-com-y sort of
irritating
feel, and
but
then it
still
just
fun.
Went yeah, oh yeah, the miscommunication is insane in that book.
It's not even miscommunication, it's just like
it's just straight up. Yeah, it was just straight up, like, yeah, I can't even, like, say anything in case anybody wants
the whole time, like, just say it. There's one thing
Yeah,
you gotta
use
say.
your words.
And
I say that so much.
Say it.
This was bad for that.
Even though, even after it was said, it was still kind of bullshit and annoying for a little bit. Like you said, you were about to DNF it because she was getting on your nerves.
I was.
I felt that.
I was so close.
I was just like, oh my god, I've never wanted to punch a female main character so bad in my life.
Exactly. And the worst thing was that I liked her.
Yeah.
Like, she seemed like a really funny, fun character. It's just that, the fact that, like, she was keeping so much inside, like, internally, I was like, oh my god, just fucking, like, use your words.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, you just gotta open up your mouth and say it. But yeah, I think it would have been a full 5-star read for me if it wasn't for that.
Yeah, same.
Like, everything else about the book was great.
Yeah, 100%. I gave it 3 stars because of that.
Well, I guess that's it for this.
One more week, and then all hell's gonna break loose.
Yeah. Literally, I feel like the series opens up after this. Fantastic.
Yeah, this is the point where I see where the people who read Assassin's Blade first like it first, because we are stopping at like a pretty big part and then going back to a prequel, but you don't get that shock of the end of Crown of Midnight if you read the prequel first.
Mm-hmm.
And especially in your situation, you knew about the shock of Assassin's Blade, you didn't know the shock about Crown of Midnight, so it was kind of perfect for that. But yeah, it kind of gives you a little more backstory before you go into everything else. All the chaos and drama and 2 white hair characters I can't wait to meet.
I think I might have stickers of that.
You do.
Yeah. I bought a sticker pack of supposed to be ACOTAR stickers, and there were multiple other SJM stickers inside of it.
I think, because you told me to go through and pick some, I think I did take a fair number of spoilery Throne of Glass stickers. Now they're all still in my bag of stickers. They're just like in a separate little baggie. But I was like, this bitch ain't learned anything early. She's got to read it.
I still need you to look through the Throne of Glass stickers that I bought so that you can pick out the ones that I can look at right now.
Well, if we ever get back to playing D&D, I will go through them.
Is it this week?
Yes.
If nobody is sick.
Yeah. And if we are sick, there's going to be a death warrant out for your sister.
Yeah.
I will fly to where she is, and she'll be down one more person at her work.
She wouldn't have to worry about it, though.
Yeah, true.
Oh, God. And with that, our Coven summoning comes to a close. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on Spotify or Apple Podcasts.
And follow Caffeine and Conjuring on Instagram and TikTok to stay up to date on our journey through Throne of Glass.